Picture this. Your friend walks in the room, headphones on, head bobbing, and a goofy grin stretched across his face. He drops his backpack, fist pump the air, and collapse onto the couch with a satisfied sigh. Without him saying a single word, you know that he had an amazing day. That is implicit meaning. Writers use actions, reactions, and expressions to let characters reveal themselves without spelling it out. So today, we will be diving into the art of showing rather than telling. But before we start, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more such videos. Hello students, today we will learn about implicit meaning and how this effect is used by writers for their character development and also for settings development. But today we are only going to cover implicit meaning, which is for characters. So without any wait, let's start learning. So meaning is not always directly stated in words, but many a times it is indirectly being told to us or being hinted to us. Alright. So writers often use showing rather than telling, and this is what we have learnt in our very first video, show, don't, tell. So this technique is used by writers often in their writing whenever they are introducing a character or for their settings development. The implicit meaning involves suggestions, associations, and interpretation. So implicit of any dialogue or the implicit understanding of any character involves a lot of things that you might suggest something, or you might associate one thing with another thing, or you might have your assumptions or interpretations. So it can vary from person to person. You don't have to think a lot about it. Some of the things could be very natural, like we will see examples, a lot of examples here, and this is how you will understand that how we can also take out implicit meanings of characters. So let's see subtle aspects of characters that comes in implicit. Then a character's feelings or emotions or attitudes is also something which is implicit. It tells the implicit of anything, and we will see that in a situation. That is not just for explanation here. This is not just a subjective learning, theory learning that you are going to get. We are going to analyze characters from famous play, from a famous novel, and you will also learn how you can also write implicit of any character, a character's actions or emotions, or how they felt. All of that we will be studying in detail. Then relationships between two or more people also tell something, and we are going to do that today. So key skill that we are referring to here is of inference, of inferring. Inferring means reading between the lines to draw conclusion. So inference is very important for you if you are doing IGCSE English. So for IGCSE English, we all know that we have been covering a lot of things like skimming, scanning, synthesis, and selecting information. This is another important topic for us, which is not only going to help us in our reading comprehension, but also in our writing. So when you will understand implicit, then you will be able to apply the same implicit in your writing also, which when I say that you will be able to apply something in your writing, what is that something? It is show, don't tell. So this is what we are going to see in detail today. So how do you know whether or not your friend is excited about a surprise party? So before we start, let's do this exercise, for which I am telling you to analyze or make a flow chart of what they say and what they do, and one more, which is how they look. So you have to analyze this question. How do you know whether or not your friend is excited about a surprise party? So if your friend is excited about a surprise party, what they say? So they might say, this is amazing. All right. Also, there could be different words can be used for amazing though. This is superb. This is fabulous. All right. So they would say something like that only. If they are saying this is awful, then you know that friend is not excited about the surprise party. Anyways, let's come here. What they say, I can't believe you planned this for me. So these are the things that that person, that friend of yours will say. Thank you everyone enthusiastic, or thank everyone enthusiastically. And what they do, they will smile a lot. They will be they might blush also because of the attention that that friend is getting because of a surprise party. And as you know that birthdays are for making one feel special on that particular day. So definitely if you are going to plan a surprise party for your friend, then that friend will smile a lot. Then come then next interpretation. This is my interpretation. You could have your interpretation also. Run around with excitement. Alright, this shows again surprise. Or clap hands or hug people. So this is also a kind of reaction which one would give while one would be surprised. Alright, or how they look. So they might look happy, big smile on their face, eyes wide with excitement, and bright and cheerful expressions. Alright, so you can have your interpretations, your assumptions, or you could have made your flowchart as you wish to. Let us discuss. This was my assumption. Let us discuss the next thing. So this was implicit, that when they are doing a lot of things, when they are saying a certain thing, when they are looking in they are appearing in a certain way in which it feels that they are happy. That means the implicit is that they are happy because of that surprise party. So this is how we understand that these are the things which one can do when one is surprised by a surprise party. Anyways, let's see how can we build these skills. So let's build the skills. So writers give similar clues to guide their readers' responses to characters. You need to look for those clues which will tell you what does the writer mean to say about that particular character, because a writer won't say that. You would have read a lot of novels, if not a lot but at least one in your life you would have read, or if not even novels, you would have read stories, and in those stories you would have seen that the writer does not serve you. The writer does not serve you on the platter. Instead, they they just leave it on you how you will figure out that character, that what that particular character is feeling about a certain thing. So this is what writers do. So you have to look for those clues in the text which makes you feel that this is what the writer wanted to say, because you will understand the meaning, and you have to look for those words and phrases that made you actually or that led you to that understanding. So you can draw your own inferences with those clues. Consider this extract and then look at the table showing you how to draw inferences. Let's see this one example. Before we discuss, I would like you to stop the video and read this example by yourself, and then we shall discuss and do some questions also. I hope you would have read these two lines and you would have seen the table too. Let's see. So the extract goes like, it is no good Sasha groaned at her mother. I don't want Tracy at my birthday party. And that is the end of this discussion. Let's see, what does this phrase groaned mean here? Sasha groaned. So this implies something. This tells us something indirectly. This is what implied means, or this is what implicit mean. So what does this phrase draws out to us? That she might be in pain, but she is not in physical pain. She must be putting it on to make a point. So groaning, as you know, this is an expression. So she might be in pain, not in the physical one, because we can see that with the reading of the sentence. So when we analyze things, we analyze particularly every phrase, every word, every action that particular character has done. We have to analyze everything in implicit. Then Sasha wants, this is a possible meaning. Sasha wants to make her mother feel that her attempt to persuade her is hurting her, to make her mother feel guilty and warn her to stop before she gets more upset. So this is what is the possible meaning of this, these two lines, and these two lines, especially this phrase groan. So Sasha groaned. This tells us, this draws out this meaning that maybe she is in pain, not in the physical one, but maybe she is hurt, but in the mental pain. So she is mentally strained. Alright, she is stressed out. We can write this also. That is your implication. Whatever you want to imply, whatever you have interpreted, you can write that. And then the possible meaning also can vary from one to one. Although somewhere it would be around the same only. All the meanings would remain on the same levels only. But the way of expressing it might differ. Let's see now the next question to us. Draw out what is implied about Sasha's attitude by. That is the end of this discussion. So I will leave you with the last slide where you saw that phrase, where you saw that extract, two-line extract, and just draw out what is implied, what is indirectly being told to you, what is indirectly being conveyed to you about Sasha saying that is the end of this discussion. So you just write your thoughts. What do you think about this phrase when she said that that is the end of this discussion? What might she be feeling? So the writer want to show you something. What is that the writer want to convey you about Sasha? Write down your interpretation and then we shall discuss. Alright, I hope you would have written your response. Let's see an example response for the same. Sasha's use of that's the end of this discussion suggests that she is determined and unwilling to continue the conversation. This is for sure that she does not want to involve in the conversation any long. It reflects her assertiveness and desire to have the final say. Or you can maybe say that also, that she might be wanting to feel dominating. She want to put her domination forward. So that could also have been your words. Sasha is drawing a firm boundary and emphasizing that her decision is final, indicating a strong-willed and possibly stubborn personality. So you can interpret a lot with just the dialogue of one says or speaks, and this is what we do in our day-to-day life also. Don't we, students, that whenever we see that one person in our class, and whatever that one student would behave like, would say like, you would have certain interpretations or judgments. What is that? That is implied. You would take those words or the words or the sentences or the phrases being spoken by that one new student, and you would then analyze that person on the basis of that. And this is what exactly we are supposed to do with our reading comprehension also, and the same that we apply to writing also. We are going to build the skills, we are going to explore all these skills, and we will by the end learn all these skills where we will be able to put implicit in our writing too. Let's see the next one, which is this question again. So read the continuation of the extract below and then answer the question. So I would like you to read this extract first and then I will show you the question. So please stop the video and read the question. I hope you would have read the extract. Now let's see the question. So the question goes like, explain how the highlighted phrase, you would have seen some highlighted phrase here, her eyes were troubled, the beautifully addressed envelopes, then absolutely everything your own way. You can't have absolutely everything your own way. And the last one, downloaded from the computer months ago. How these highlighted phrases are used by the writer to tell us about the mother and the daughter. So we are supposed to analyze not only the daughter but also the mother. So these are the highlighted phrases. So I would like you to note down your responses for these highlighted phrases. Whatever you know or you get to know when you see these phrases. I will put you back onto the extract again, so then you can see the highlighted phrases and you can note down your interpretations, and we shall discuss that what is my interpretation for the same. I hope you would have done it. So let's discuss what all those highlighted phrases mean. So the first one was, her eyes were troubled. This phrase reveals the mother's emotional state. It shows that she is concerned and anxious, likely because she is trying to maintain peace while also addressing Sasha's behavior and wishes. Her troubled eyes indicate inner conflicts as she navigates the situation. So you're not supposed to write very long, but you can still write a line or two about her behavior. That her eyes were troubled means that the mother is getting into an emotional state and that she is concerned and anxious. Even if you were able to figure out this much, then you are on the safe side, students. You already are good to go. Let's see the next phrase. Scooped up the invitations from the table and began sliding them swiftly into the beautifully addressed envelope. So when you see, this is one thing, then scooped up invitations from the table, this is another thing, in sliding. Even in this phrase also, some words are so direct that you can understand the meaning of the phrase even just looking at these particular words. So this description highlights the mother's attempt to regain control of the situation. She wants to regain control. This is why she is putting back those invitations in the envelopes quickly. The word swiftly implies urgency or frustration. Here the word swiftly is written, and while beautifully addressed envelopes shows her attention to detail. So maybe she is that person who really likes fancy things. This is why beautifully addressed envelopes. Effort in making the event special, not only because she likes fancy things, but also her effort to make the daughter's special day special, even more special and eventful. It suggests she values organization and cares about appearances. A lot you could have written about this, but even if you were able to manage 2-3 points, then that is also fine. Let's see the next one. Well, it does not seem kind to me to leave out just one girl in your class, sweetheart. This is what now you have to again imply about both the characters, the mother and the daughter. It indicates that the mother is trying to appeal to Sasha's sense of fairness and kindness. So she wants her daughter to be fair and just and kind. It shows her concern for teaching Sasha empathy, very important, that she wants her child to be empathetic and inclusive, while also trying to resolve the conflict diplomatically. So she is trying to do that diplomatically. Let's see the last phrase, downloaded from the computer months ago. So even if, now let's see this phrase only without reading the explanation. If you have written something like this where you have written that Sasha was already excited and was waiting desperately for her special day, for this birthday, then that is also correct, students. Let's see this one. This detail reveals Sasha's prior interest in planning the event, contrasting her current refusal. So when she's does not want to invite someone, that is getting a contrast here. We are getting a contrast here because she has in detail planned her special day, and this is why she downloaded from the computer those cake pictures months ago. It highlights her change in attitude, possibly due to frustration or a specific disagreement, maybe whether with the mother, whether be with the mother or with that student she particularly does not want to call to her party. It also reflects a mother's effort to use Sasha's past involvement to persuade her. So it can also be used later on by Sasha's mother, that you already prior you were interested in planning this event, so better you call that friend. All right, let's see the next thing, which is analyze the extract from Great Expectations. So students, this is now going to be two-part extract. So 1/2 is written here in this slide, and the other part of it is written in this one. So I would want you to take a screenshot of both and analyze the extract and also giving you one question to solve. So I'll come in and I will pause the video. You can pause the video, take the screenshot, and I'll get out so that you can solve these questions while giving a reading to that text. So record your ideas in a separate table like the one below for each character. So this is what you are supposed to do. You need to write about the character. So there are two characters, Pip and Magwitch, in this that extract. So you're supposed to write what he said and done and how others react and the words used to describe him. You need to write it here. All right, and in points maybe you can find more than 1, 2, 3. So even if you are finding 4 or 5, analyze all of them. Write about the effect, what it tells us about him, about that personality, about his personality, whether it be about Pip or it be about Magwitch. Two characters are there in that extract. And then write about the effect, what it suggests about his relationship. So then the relationship between the two characters you are supposed to analyze. All right, so I'll show you the extract again and you are supposed to make that table. So I'll get out, please take a screenshot. I will show you the next part. So this is just the half part. This is now the full part. Please pause the video. So this was the other part of the extract, and now let's see the question once again, and again you can take the screenshot of the same and analyze all the things which are written in the text, whether it be actions or something, someone said something to the other character, and analyze those things about that particular character, and then the relationship between the two characters, which is Pip and Magwitch. So again, please pause the video and note down your answers. I hope you were able to do the same. Let's see some of those. Analyze each character's behavior, emotions, their interactions to draw inferences about relationships and personality traits. This is what you were supposed to do. As I told you, everything you have to note down. You had to note down. So let's see. Pip, I pleaded in terror. So this is the thing which Pip said. I pleaded in terror. So what does this tell about Pip? Pip is, he is scared and he is feeling helpless and he is scared. All right, this is what it tells about him. And what does this tell about his relationship with Magwitch? Shows he feels vulnerable in the face of authority or in the face of danger. So he feels vulnerable. This is why he wants to save himself. This is why he pleaded in terror. Trembling as he seized me by the chin. This shows trembling, meaning that he was actually physically scared now. So is physically frightened, showing his lack of strength, and tells about the personality, highlights a fear-based interaction between Pip and Magwitch. The first interaction is not really friendly, but it is frightening. Interaction is frightening. I earnestly expressed my hope that he wouldn't. So again, this tells that Pip tries to reason and appeal to the convict. So he wants to appeal to the convict, and this indicates that he is polite and respectful even when he is scared. So he is not unkind even when he is scared. All right, let's see one last one. Partly to keep myself up, partly to keep myself from crying. So what does this tell about him? That he is trying to show emotional resilience, that yes, I'm not emotionally weak, I can take in the terror that I'm going through. In a frightening situation, reveals Pip's youth and vulnerability in a tense relationship with Magwitch. This is what it tells us. Let's see now the next character, which is Magwitch. So the first thing was terrible voice. It was a terrible voice. This shows that Magwitch is intimidating and commanding. This is why he got a terrible voice. Who? Pip. Pip got a terrible voice because he was terrified. Terrible meaning he was terrified. He was horrified about the character Magwitch. Suggest he uses his appearance and tone to dominate interaction. So this is what one gets or one implies when you say that I was trembled in fear to see that person, and I when I spoke I trembled while speaking. This means that the other person that you saw was actually dreadful, and physically that person was humongous and gigantic. This is why you got uh, dreaded and you got scared. So this is what this character Magwitch uses, that he uses his appearance and tone to dominate interactions or to dominate others, interactions, conversations. Glared and growled. So this, what does this tell us about? Then glared means when someone is looking at you very sharply, and growled means when someone is making that animalistic noise. So this means that it creates an animalistic image, and an image of an animal. Also you could have written that is also correct, showing his threatening nature. So even if you are writing that he was a threatening character, then that is also correct. Indicates he uses fear to maintain control over others. So what I mean to say is that when you are trying to write the implied of some character, it is not really difficult. You think that it is very difficult for us to understand how to write implicit for this, or how to write the interpretation for this, but you just have to write what came to your mind when you first read about that character, or when you first read that particular dialogue. This is what you have to note down while you are writing these kind of interpretations. Let's see, threatening shake of his head. Again, threatening, even the words are given. So that is again very easy for you to give the implied. So Magwitch is physically threatening. This is why threatening shake of his head. Reinforcing his authority, suggests he has no intention of building a positive relationship. Obviously, if someone is shaking their head in threatening position, that means they are not going to shake their hands with them, or they are not going to be friendly. Instead, they are going to be dreadful and horrifying. Licking his lips, what cheeks you have got. So again, you can see such expressions. Magwitch is rough and lacks social niceties. Shows he intimidates Pip without considering his fear. So he is trying to intimidate him even after knowing that he is already physically intimidating, and in appearance wise, he is too dreadful to look at. Even then, he is using all the things which he can use in order to make Pip feel scared and horrified. Alright, let's see the next one. So now let's do a normal question, that what is implied about the characters by the underlined phrases. So Maria gave Tom an icy glance. So when you say an icy glance, what does that mean? That means Maria is giving cold or disapproving look to Tom. Alright, let's see the next one. He had a reputation for being a smooth talker. Means that that person is manipulative, is calculative. So you can write that. He is persuasive, convincing, and manipulative or insincere. Can't you just be straight with me? Be straight means someone is not being straight, someone is not being clear, and someone is being vague about their actions or dialogues, whatever. Implies the speaker feels frustrated with the lack of honesty or clarity. This is what I said. Next one, Counselor Smith dealt with the objectors somewhat heavy-handedly. This means that he was harsh, heavy-handedly, you know the meaning, and forceful in handling objections. He greeted me rather distantly. Means that he greeted me, but it was a cold greet. It was not an inviting. It was uninviting, uninteresting, or a formal greet. Alright. Let's see the next one, which is reread the description of Pip's first meeting with the convict Magwitch. Explain how the highlighted phrases are used by the writer to suggest that Pip is scared of Magwitch. So I'll take you back to the extract, students, and you can see all the highlighted phrases which have been used by Pip, by all the things that you can see, the highlighted phrases, these and the ones. I think you already have taken a screenshot and you've already analyzed these phrases before. So now you can again look at the question and do what you are supposed to do. So you are to reread the description and explain those highlighted phrases used by the writer to suggest Pip that Pip is scared. So how did you get to know that in this whole extract, when you read it for the first time, you quickly got the idea that yes, Pip is scared of the other character, whosoever that character is. That character is, we all know, Magwitch. So why is Pip scared? You might be having this curiosity too. Alright. So this curiosity only leads us as a reader into reading that particular novel. And this is what writers use vividly and with versatility. Alright. So do the same, analyze the phrases, and then let's discuss about the same. I hope you would have analyzed the same and you would have explained the highlighted phrases. Let's see. So the terrible voice was being highlighted, and we have already discussed that emphasizing how Magwitch appears to be intimidating to Pip. Glared and growled, we have already discussed that animalistic behavior, animalistic and threatening demeanor that heightens Pip's fear. And threatening shake of his head, again intent to scare Pip into compliance. Alright, and Magwitch's dominance. Trembling, Pip's physical reaction was vividly shows his fear and helplessness. Keep myself from crying, again showing emotional resilience, Pip's vulnerability and his desperate attempt to maintain composure in a terrifying situation like that. Let's see the next one. So select words or phrases describing Magwitch and explain their effects. Now the same phrases, pick those phrases against Magwitch. What does those phrases imply about the character Magwitch? So again I will come on this, that there are no specific dialogues that if some person would say this would imply or this would convey us that meaning. It's not like that. This is not writers use this effect. Writers use it with versatility, and they use it in every dialogue which the characters are speaking. So that dialogue particularly does not just tell about the character who is speaking, but also about the character who is he speaking to. All right. So this is what you need to learn, and we are learning it well from this extract. So I hope you would again analyze these phrases before looking to the answers, and we shall discuss. So please pause the video and analyze these phrases against Magwitch now, that what does these phrases tell you about the character Magwitch. Alright, please pause the video. So I hope you would have done it. Terrible voice suggests Magwitch is intimidating. Then glared and growled, we have already discussed, creates an image of feral, threatening character. Threatening shake of his head shows Magwitch's dominance and physicality. Then heavy-handedly suggests he uses excessive force and lacks empathy. Let's see the next one. How does the writer use Pip's reactions to Magwitch to show that he is scared? So now I want you to use those tables and write a detailed answer. Although the answer that I am going to share is just going to comprise of the phrases, the highlighted phrases which the writer has used directly against Magwitch or in favor of a Pip to tell that Pip was scared. But you should make use of those tables that we have created in character analysis to record your answer for the same. That how does writer know? How does the writer use Pip's reaction to Magwitch to show that he is scared? Please pause the video and try to write an answer somewhere between 60 to 80 words, meaning write at least 6 to 8 points or 10 if your writing is too small. So please pause the video and write the answer. I hope you would have been able to write it. Let's see a sample response for the same. The writer uses Pip's trembling, as we saw, pleading in terror, internal struggle to keep him from crying to emphasize his fear. These physical and emotional reactions convey Pip's vulnerability and helplessness, making it clear that he is terrified of Magwitch. I hope this answer very much comprises of all the things and phrases that the writer has used. This is just a summarized form. The same answer you could have written in 60 to 80 words as well. Although the answer that is written and shown here by me, it's covering all the aspects of that writer's effect. So this is how we analyze writer's effect. So whenever you are asked a question in your reading comprehension, in your reading paper 1, so this is what you are supposed to do. You are supposed to do the character analysis or the setting analysis, which also we are going to cover in one of the videos. So you will learn that how you can also give implicits about anything and everything. Alright, let's see the next question for this, and the very last question for this module, for this video. How does the writer use Magwitch's actions to show that he is intimidating? So when you see these two questions, they're somewhat related. It's almost the same only. In some places, there would be new phrases that would be added here. But when you see closely, it's almost the question being asked is the same. Please pause the video, record the answer for this one too. Again in 60 to 80 words, and then we will discuss the answer. I hope you were able to write the answer. Let's see the very last slide of this one, this video. Magwitch's terrible voice, glared and growled, threatening shake of his head all depict him as a dominant and frightening presence. His aggressive demeanor and harsh commands create an atmosphere of fear and highlight his power over Pip. Alright, so if you do remember, we discussed one thing, PEE. So PEA, so point, evidence and analysis. This is what we discussed in one of the videos. So in order to put across a point, you need evidences. So when you say that Magwitch was terrifying, you need to give evidences. Terrible voice, glared and growled, alright, and then you need to give an analysis. Glared and growled meaning that he was a feral character, he was a feral spirit, he was animalistic, alright, threatening shake of his head, so he wanted to show his physical dominance over others. So this is how you should do. Again, we come up with the same strategy, PEA. Whenever you are writing, describing writer effects question, you are supposed to use it. So this was all for this video, and I hope you learned a lot about implicit meaning in characters, and I hope you will continue to practice it by reading, just randomly reading any of the novels pages that you are currently reading, or maybe you can read just any story and then analyze the character or characters in that particular novel by looking at some of the actions they do, or by looking at some of the dialogues they speak to other characters. So this is how you can practice well, and this is how you will understand the technique PEA to be used in your answers while writing your writer's effect. So this was all for this video. I hope you learned a lot, and we will continue to learn a lot in the upcoming series of videos. Please let us know if any topic, if anything which you did not understand and you want to know from us. I would like you to give comments and share your reviews. So stay curious, keep learning, keep growing. Love what you watched? Give it a thumbs up, share it with friends, and subscribe for more.